has to reconnect with the people. Remember, President Clinton reconnected through Oklahoma, right? And the president right now seems removed. And it wasn't until that speech that he clicked with the American public. Obama needs a similar kind.
Do you think words will work for President Obama at this point?
No. Okay, he's got to get some results. But words will work, I think, if he finds that right moment.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Global Government News. Today is Monday, November 8th, 2010. I am Darko. Welcome to this news segment. In this video, I'm basically going to cover the war on terror, liberty, and sovereignty. And before I start, I'd like to ask new listeners and viewers to check out my website, ggnonline.com. That's www.ggnonline.com. You just saw that video where that individual was saying or recommending that an Oklahoma City bombing incident would be great for Obama. It rally people together and give them an opportunity to give a nice fascist speech, to rally around the flag and give a nice us versus them speech. And when you're looking at that, you have to remember that the media is used for mind control purposes. It is used for programming, or you can call it brainwashing, propaganda. All those words will work. All usually under the assumption of always just entertainment, right? So, but anyways, they're speaking a different language, and if you have the ears to hear it and the eyes to see, you could actually learn a lot from the mainstream media, because they speak in code, and that's exactly what they're doing. All of them, is every swinging dick that goes on in the news and the mainstream media, are they aware that they're pawns? No, most of them aren't. But Chris Matthews, he knows what he's doing. And I'm certainly that individual that just happened to be on that show recommending that a similar false flag attack like Oklahoma City occur in order for Obama to get ahead politically. They know the implications of what they're saying, but they know that most of the hoople heads won't understand it. Says EU malls blacklisting airports that aren't secure. Says the EU Interior ministers established a panel on Monday to review a proposed plan to tighten air cargo security that would include blacklisting high-risk airports that are deemed to have inadequate security measures. So, I mean, after all the recent false flag attacks, including the Christmas Day bomber and the Pentagon, well, not really the Pentagon shooter, but 9/11, of course, is the biggest, most infamous false flag attack. But after all this phony terror, fear-mongering that's been going on, and the government allowing terrorist attacks to occur, all of, Patriot Act has been passed, torturing has begun and continued under the Obama regime. Nothing's changed. It's all the same. And it's all happened in unison, right? All around the globe, everyone's rights when they go to the airport have been taken away from them. But not so much taken away as it is they voluntarily gave it up. And that's just how they do it. This is how the powers that be and this what people call the New World Order, or whatever, the same ruling families and bloodlines have been running the planet since Babylon. This is how they do it, and it's always us versus them. They create crises, problem, reaction, solution. They create the problems, and of course, the reaction is done through the media, which is this. They put all this bull crap news out there. That's just basically PR for these individuals. It's PR. They're selling something. They're selling body scanners, like the 1,000 body scanners that will be in most of the U.S. airports, all based off that one Christmas Day bomber that was working as a patsy for intelligence agencies. So you can see that, looking back now, what do we get out of this stupid UPS false flag thing, right? You're going to keep getting all this. Oh, but we're going to blacklist airports. You're not up to speed on the, on airport security. So. And I recommend you check out my last War on Terror, Liberty, Sovereignty news segment. I cover the UPS thing, and I basically, I include a very important article. It's a little known fact there that I guess the UPS they don't deliver to Yemen. So And those were individuals or officials from Yemen saying that. So they don't take off and they don't go to Yemen directly. So they don't really know what they're talking about. But this is, like I said, what happens after the fact. But it says, around the world, a race against time bombs in the air. Details emerge of a plot to blow up cargo planes inside the U.S. It says a woman stepped off. I'm not even going to read this. You go ahead and read it. I'll post the links. But I'm just giving you a quick little overview of what most of the slaves are saying in the media right now. White House to Yemen, share more now. Says the Obama administration wants quicker and fuller access to intelligence gleaned by Yemeni counter-terrorist forces and greater ability to question and capture terrorists there, according to senior administration officials. So, and of course, right, the White House push comes in the aftermath of the airline package bomb plot aimed at U.S.-bound planes by al-Qaeda's Yemen affiliate, Al-Qaeda, in the Arabian Peninsula. The scheme was foiled 10 days ago after explosives hidden in computer printers were found by authorities inside cargo planes in Dubai. And there was that, and then also in Chicago, I covered this in the last video. In Chicago, there was the synagogue there said that they weren't a target. So that's both sources saying that they're not targets and they don't allow UPS, FedEx doesn't fly in or fly out of Yemen. So then you have this article, which was originally on Yahoo, and I brought it up, and well, it links to this article on Yahoo. So basically, this is the stuff that I notice when I cover the news is that you go there and the links will be gone, right? You'll see these little specks of truth in the mainstream media that will come out like this. Saudis warned of U.S. attack before parcel bomb plot. It says Saudi intelligence officials warned the United States in early October that al-Qaeda's affiliate in Yemen was planning a terrorist attack using one or more aircraft 3 weeks before a plot to send parcel bombs on cargo planes was foiled at the last minute, American European officials said. So there you go. So the White House to Yemen, share more now, and you ask why? Well, the U.S. gives Yemen key intelligence to strike al-Qaeda. It's all a business, guys. It's all a business. It says U.S. military intelligence agencies have been sharing satellite and surveillance imagery and intercepted communications and other sensitive information to help Yemen pinpoint strikes against al-Qaeda targets, officials said on Wednesday. And you move on to this. It says military aid to Yemen doubles as U.S. aims to boost fight against al-Qaeda. So see, they're working for the. They have people in this little group that are basically sellouts or double agents, whatever. They work for U.S. intelligence agencies or global intelligence agencies because they're all linked up together. And they create this imminent threat, and then you have these dumbasses out there saying kill Americans, and they're on the same payroll. And then you got all these poor people that are under them that are like, patriots in America. They want, their occupiers out. They want, the corruption to stop. They want to be left alone. They want their individual sovereignty. And they're following these, like, here in America, a lot of these militias are infiltrated with federal agents, FBI and other agencies, including the DOD and Army and that. So, and Homeland Security. So this is what I'm talking about. They, just like the Patriot movement that gets infiltrated, like they are now, so is the Middle Eastern establishment, the Middle East militias and all that. That's what Al Qaeda is. And there are legitimate ones that are that are not Al Qaeda. It's just Al Qaeda is like the prominent one, like the Taliban. I mean, the Taliban were created to take down the Soviets in the 80s. So, and that was according to Zbigniew Brzezinski, that was his, that the credit goes to him for doing that. So, and now we got to fight the Taliban, right? Now we give them millions of dollars to not strike our convoys. We pay them to not attack us. So it's a big business, and it all is based off, two jets hitting some buildings, bringing the 747 down, killing 1,500, 3,000 people. 50 million people died, or 30 million people died just on the Russian side in World War II. And, 3,000 people die, and just everything goes to shit here, So I just want to say that, just try to give you a little background on that. So, of course, you got false flag terrorists, and you got stuff like this. Nuclear drill puts national focus on Kings Bay. This was covered by a prophetic seer, and I appreciate him sharing this information, but I'll just plug it in my War on Terror, Liberty, Sovereignty video. The exercise will last until Wednesday and will likely impact traffic near the base. In other words, they'll have checkpoints. As many as 1,800 military and civilian personnel from across the nation will participate in a simulated nuclear weapon incident as King Bay Naval Submarine Base beginning today. And this is a strategy that our governments, which is nothing more than a corporation, it's a strategy that they use. They like to hold these exercises, because, when they allow the real thing to go hot, right, the real program or the real agenda to move forward, like, 9/11, they have to stage exercises around that time. So in case, they get caught in the act doing it, allowing, agencies in the government allowing these incidents to occur, lack of security. Oh, we didn't know. We lacked intelligence. Give us more money. That's their strategy. So they can just basically claim ignorance and coincidence. Well, we just happened to be, training for that incident. So they can, if they call it off, or they get caught, they can just say they were doing it. So anyways, you can check out that link. It says American airline pilots in revolt against TSA. And this is basically a letter from Captain David Bates. I covered this maybe a month ago or something, but I guess there's other pilots revolting as well. It says there is absolutely no denying that the enhanced pat-down is a demeaning experience. In my view, it is unacceptable to submit to one in public while wearing the uniform of a professional airline pilot. Well, it shouldn't be subjected to anybody shouldn't be subjected to that, right? Humiliation. I recommend that all pilots insist that such screening is performed in an out-of-view area to protect their privacy and dignity. So there you go. I mean, that's just the pilots. I mean, why don't the people, protest or something? Don't fly or do something, man. Here we go. U.S. drones operating in Yemen, foreign minister says. Well, I don't think we need the foreign minister to know that there's, drones most likely operating in Yemen. They're operating everywhere. They were operating in Pakistan, droning people, killing people before it was even news to the sheeple. In a rare public admission, Yemen's foreign minister told CNN that the U.S. drones are aiding his country. Aiding his country, you see that, dude? They're killing people that, they've been sold out, just like the Americans, just like most countries, modern democracies. They've been sold out by the representatives. So Yemen is not the people at the bottom. They want their country to be back to what it was, and their culture to be back to what it was. They know that their government is corrupt, and they're taking money from the West, and so they're aiding his country. They're killing people, So there you go. We're going to move on here to the next one, and this is flyover plan draws flack. Residents in Colorado and New Mexico fear impact of military's nighttime sorties. Says the U.S. Air Force thinks the rough-hewn peaks of southwest Colorado and northern New Mexico make an excellent surrogate for the treacherous mountain ranges in global hotspots such as Afghanistan, and some local residents beg to differ. Move down here, and it says, starting next year, commanders want to send C-130 transport planes and CV-22 Osprey tilt rotor aircraft skimming across the region after dark at altitudes as low as 200 feet and speeds up to 288 miles per hour. Said they envision 3 sorties a night. Next one up is Canada to remain in Afghanistan past 2011. Canada will keep 900 and 950 troops, between 900 and 950 troops, in Afghanistan in a non-combat training role after Canada's combat mission ends in 2011, a senior government official said. This next one, U.S. to spend $500 million on embassy in Afghanistan. This next one is Afghans drop charges against aid. The Afghan government has dropped all charges in a controversial corruption case against an aide to President Hamid Karzai, said the officials who oversaw the case. And it goes on here, and it says the arrest in late July of the aide Mohammed Zia Saleh by American-backed corruption investigators was an embarrassment, first because of the president's decision to intervene publicly to have Mr. Saleh released from prison, and then because of the revelations that Mr. Saleh had been also on the payroll of the Central Intelligence Agency. So there you go, one of the government's puppets right there calling for the killing of Americans. Then resurgence of al-Qaeda threatens Christians in Iraq with destruction. Russian activist disappears after exposing vaccination plans for Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. Says Russian journalists attacked in Moscow. Moving on here, London hosts campaign to boycott Israel. Hundreds of pro-Palestinian activists and anti-Zionist groups have demanded a full boycott of goods and products made in the occupied Palestinian territories. detainee torture, massive U.S. policy. German police clash with protest. Iran calls for a new just world order. Thank